later, you can let me know.
So we're gonna go, so everybody, I'm just gonna go ahead and mute everybody unless you talk, and then you can unmute when Dwight asks you, okay? That way we keep the
Okay.
background noise to a minimum.
Thank you, Michael. Yes. All right. Let me see. A second here. So, Centurist Club is about, I mean, it's, on the minimal level, it's about just staying as healthy as possible and loving your life as much as possible while you're alive. But on another level, it's about what could it be like if we actually could count our birthdays in terms of centuries, you know? Like next month, I'm going to be 80 years old, all right? So I'll be just 20 years away from my first century. And so then I can have a first century birthday, and then idea, okay, I'll go into my second century birthday. Now, this is a pretty big thing to think about because up until now, in terms of what we considered valid recorded history, the oldest person ever lived was 122. You know, so we're talking about breaking some barriers here. But mainly today, we're going to talk about like just the stuff that's available now, just to stay vital and alive till that point comes where it's called the longevity escape velocity, where science will have progressed enough. So if we're pretty alive and well at that point, then we'll have more of the option to live indefinitely. And when I say live, I mean health span, not just lifespan. Okay. And so got a lot of stuff to share with you today. I'm going to paste. I'll have to remember to repaste this link. So I'm going to paste a link here in the chat. So if you copy that link, you'll actually be able to go on your computer and your website and see everything that I'm going to be sharing with you and have that available to you later, okay? So I'm putting you in share mode, so everybody should start to be able to see my screen. And then let me move this around. So, all right. So here we are. With many of you, I've shared my centurist vision before. I'm just going to read three of the verses here so we can move along. At the crossroads of time, where dreams do abide, I stand with a heart that's sylvan ride. My journey thus far, tapestry rich, and growing and learning, it's never a bitch. Approaching a century, not an end, but a start. Just a milestone ahead in the path of my heart. I'm always just starting in future sweet dance and loving my living. I'm taking my stance. Okay, so for those of you who attended previous Centurist Clubs, you'll know about a project I started called Route 28, okay? And the idea was that I was going to prepare to do very, very super rigorous 28 days where I was going to be somehow willing to just do everything I knew to do in terms of eating this and not eating that and taking supplements and maybe special exercises and doing some blood test measurements before and after to see what sort of impact I could have in my overall health in just 28 days and see what I learned and then take that into the rest of my life. And I actually had some dates set for this. I was going to start, but you can see now the way it has, I don't know when I'm going to start, but because I found that having this deadline was just making it, was the number one thing that was making it like I wasn't enjoying the journey of moving in this direction. But secondly, because I had an agreement with myself that daily I would spend 30 minutes learning what I could learn to get prepared to do this 28 days, you know, in terms of what blood tests to take and everything else, okay? So I ended up, but I noticed that still I wasn't preparing for it. So after a little bit, I made use of an idea that I've developed. I call it the catalytic companion. Now, a catalytic companion is somebody who you use to, like, here's the definition of it. An individual who facilitates, I don't know, maybe I can make that a bigger screen. Maybe it's about as big as I can get it. Okay, yeah. An individual who facilitates, enhances, or motivates the execution of tasks or activities by another person through their presence, which may involve listening, observing, and accompanying. The catalytic companion does not participate actively in the task, but serves as a catalyst, enables or encourages the primary individual to undertake activities, etc. Okay, so I started this where I have one of my assistants, Monday through Friday. We get on Zoom for 30 minutes, and I usually share my screen, and I go through studying things, and just having him there interacting with me just makes it so I enjoy it, and I'm really continuing on this in a way that I wasn't before. And right now, I'm rereading in detail this amazing book. It just came out a few months ago, called The Scientific Approach to Getting Healthier as You Get Older, How Not to Age, by Dr. Michael Greger. And I, more than any other resource I know, he has a website called nutritionfacts.org, nutritionfacts.org, that I highly recommend. So I'm rereading this book. In fact, here I show you a screenshot of where I am recently in this book. And right now he's talking about the immune system and how to enhance the immune system. You can see I highlighted and copied how there's documented evidence, like clinical studies that show that wakame, which is a seaweed commonly eaten in Japan, has demonstrated, a strong ability to boost our immune system. So even just 2 grams a day can make that difference. All right. So just an example of the sort of stuff that I'm reading and gathering information from. And I found some things in this book I didn't even expect to find, because some of you may know that I have a medical condition very common for men my age. It's called BPH. It means my prostate gland is larger than it was earlier in my life. It's benign. It's not cancerous in any way. But one of the effects of it is it pushes against the urethra, and it makes it so you can't very easily empty your bladder. And so I find myself getting up 4 times a night to go to the toilet, And but I read this before, and I didn't see that there's actually some clinical studies that show that there's certain high doses of vitamin D3 in one study, cranberry powder in another study, and pumpkin seeds. I somewhat knew about pumpkin seeds before. In another study, have documented effects for actually reducing the prostate size, and alleviating a lot of those urinary symptoms. And just by going back through the book and seeing that, I discovered that. In relationship to that, many of you know, I'm just so excited about ChatGPT and these new AI boxes. And now there's a plethora of them. There's ChatGPT, there's Meta AI, there's Google Gemini, there's Microsoft Copilot, and there's one called Perplexity AI. Now, the reason I'm highlighting Perplexity AI here is, and I want to take a break to just repaste. Where do I get that? Trying to see how I can go to, I don't know how I go to screen share and paste the link to this, what I'm showing you, because I really want you to be able to have this later. But just But
Dwight, is
yeah,
that a lot? Is that live text? Did you type that, or is it a screenshot?
no, this is a screenshot. Yeah.
Oh,
So
screenshot. Yeah, so you'll
yeah.
have to figure it. Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, but I want to recommend this Perplexity AI. It's really good for doing research. For example, this is a question I asked it. What have clinical studies shown regarding the ability of eating pumpkin seeds to address the issue of nocturia? Nocturia is when you have to pee a lot at night, caused by PPH, and it talked about how these studies, it said, yes, there are these studies. And then I say, please give me details as the dosage amount. And see, it also cites, it even gives you all the research sources that it uses to give you the answer. So it says dosage recommended 100 milligrams to 2,000 milligrams, Then I had even a new and more exciting idea. My original idea of Route 28 was right before I started it. I was going to do this whole slew of blood tests to get my exact health status. And then 28 days later, after all the rigorous stuff, I was going to do another bunch of the same health tests and see what changes there were. But I decided, no, I need to do these health tests now. I'm in the process of preparing for this. And so I can look and I can see how my blood is not, that some of the tests are not ideal. And then I can look at doing like more focused research on what I can do during that 28 days that could make a difference in that. So I actually have a blood test scheduled this coming tomorrow morning, Monday morning at 2 p.m. To measure all these. So the main thing I'm going to share with you today is all about information I've gathered about the probably the most important blood test to have done. You need to basically tell the laboratory, the doctor, you want these, because if they just give you the standard stuff, then you're not, you won't get a lot of the most valuable stuff you need. And a lot of those other things, they may be important, but they're not necessarily important in terms of like measuring the status of your important health parameters that really could affect how long and vital you live, that you can do something about now. I stumbled on a really great website called optimaldx.com, because I don't know for you who've done blood tests, but you go to the hospital and they have what they call the reference values out on the right, so, and then they'll highlight any of your tests that are not fall within those reference values. But do you know where they get those reference values? They don't mean that you're necessarily healthy. What they mean is this is sort of like what the general population that's considered externally healthy, and the general population has a lot of arteriosclerosis and all sorts of other problems, So it's like those measurements are not ideal. So it's not, we don't have an ideal to compare against when you're going by those references. So the great thing about this website is that they really focus on being able to identify what is the ideal value for these blood test values that are developed here. So here's DHEA, and here's the male and female. And when I put ODX out here, it means that I got that from that optimal website as contrasted with some other place. And estradiol, okay? Ferritin, that relates to the amount of iron in your blood. Free testosterone. Of course, I just got the one for male here. I didn't put the one for female. Magnesium and blood sugar status, okay? The ideal is actually 75 to 86, okay? And HbA1c. 'Cause, 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 ' And this is the ideal ODX value. Now for the rest of these blood tests, I have them organized according to sort of the area of health they're measuring. Like they're measuring your cardiovascular status. You know, like this relates to possible heart attacks or strokes or so many things in terms of our health. So the homocysteine level needs to be at this. Now this is going, if you, I don't know how many of you know about LDL, okay? But generally doctors consider, well, if you've got an LDL of 100 or 110, you're doing great, you know. But when they do when they do studies where they get down to where nobody has a heart attack, nobody gets a stroke, those people have to be under 70 or less, okay? And you can go down as low as 25 and still be okay, all right? So the standard there for your LDL that normally doctors consider to be like in good shape is still allows for a significant number of heart attacks and strokes to exist, you know? Then we got LPL, we got omega-3, triglycerides, fibrinogen. All of these tests relate to your cardiovascular status. Then the next area is called inflammation. These relate to your inflammation status and also related to your immune system and also being anti-cancer. The HSCRP, less than that amount, IgM, less than that amount, IL-6. I don't have an ODX here. This is according to the Mayo Clinic, which is a very famous health clinic. This is according to Mayo Clinic. This is according to ODX and lymphocytes, okay? And then the PSA, of course, this is for men, okay? It's sort of an indicator of your possible risk of prostate cancer. And measuring vitamin D, white blood count. Then the next ones are about kidney function, creatinine, BUN-EGRIF, liver function, and finally, thyroid function. So I'm going to take this off share and I'm going to re-put this link, just especially for new people who come on, in chat box. So look in your chat box again to make sure you have this link, because everything I just shared with you, you can go to that link and see it. All right, super valuable there. So I know that I rushed through a lot of things there. We have, since we talked, we had Ruby come on, Trish is there, Wendy's there. So let's just open it up for sharing, questions, feedback, what if, you know, going around, especially for the new people here. Alex, could you put yourself on audio and give your feedback? I know you've had a lot of interest in, and you've done a lot of research about health and vitality.
Okay, well, I would be very interested in pointing out to your people that glucose and blood sugar and insulin resistance is sort of the key piece that leads into all the bad things like dementia, heart attack, stroke, you know, and the current statistics that I hear are that 92 to 93% of Americans are insulin resistant.
Mhm.
So, you're pointing at a whole bunch of different things you can all check, but
Mm,
I sort of feel like this is the elephant in the room.
mm, mm. Well, I can't, I don't know that I can argue against you on that. Yeah, yeah, and because, yeah, even though we're not maybe officially diagnosed as diabetic or even pre-diabetic, we can still have that insulin resistance, which means we're some way or on the spectrum of not being as healthy as we can be. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, well, you and I have talked about your numbers, and you don't seem to be insulin resistant, so it doesn't seem like that's an issue for you. But I think it is an issue for the vast majority of us, and
Mhm.
I know I'm on sort of the edge of it, but
Mhm.
most people I know are over the edge of it,
Mhm. Yeah,
and
yeah.
the whole society is geared to help you be insulin resistant with what
Mhm.
you eat and what you sit and watch TV and all this stuff.
Mhm.
It's, and it leads to all the bad guys.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
if I were to do one thing to get more healthy, live longer, this would be what I would, but not you, Dwight, because it seems like you've got this under control.
Well, I'm doing pretty good, but doesn't mean I can't do better. That's what these tests are about, like really looking at what the ideal would be. I mean, and I don't. Maybe I'm already ideal insulin resistance. I don't know. Well, I'll find that out very soon.
Well, fasting insulin should be on your list of
Yeah.
labs.
Yeah. Well, I think that's under the glucose stuff, right?
Well, there's glucose, but before glucose goes wonky, insulin goes wonky. And it goes wonky like decades before insulin goes bad. So it's a much earlier way to find insulin resistance is headed your way. Because because it's compensating for too much glucose. And so the labs say, oh, your glucose is good, no problem. But meanwhile, it's good because insulin is way too high. And insulin is a hormone that has a lot of other effects. And you
So,
prefer that it not be too high.
so you're saying there's a separate blood test that tests insulin separate from glucose fasting?
Exactly.
Okay, I'll check that out. I don't know why that's insulin. Okay.
And if you, I don't know, in the US, if you get life extensions diabetes check,
Mhm.
both the basic and the more elaborate one, they both give you insulin along with your glucose and A1C.
Okay. 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 All right. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Alex. That's juicy stuff. All right. Any other thing that you'd like to share with people, or comments, or yes spots, or whatever, or what you've learned that maybe you didn't know before?
Well, if you're serious about this, you should be reading. And Dr. Greger is an interesting guy, and he's very much in the vegetarian camp. Some people might say that he cherry picks his studies, and so I would encourage him not to be the only person you listen to.
Okay.
I've sort of come to the idea that maybe vegetarian isn't all it's cracked up to be. There's a lot of things that the human body doesn't make that is just really hard to get from plants. And I don't think you get a balanced spin on that from Dr. Greger. Not
But
that his stuff isn't really interesting and worth reading.
if you know of any clinical studies that support what you're saying, I would be interested in those. Okay, because I from everything I've read, but I grant you I've read mostly Dr. Krieger. Okay, it's like I, except for possibly B12, that there's nothing you can't get more and better of from Whole Foods vegan than from any other source.
omega-3s are really important for brain health.
Well, I take DHA and I take I don't know, omega-3. I take ground flaxseed. Isn't that omega-3?
There are three components of omega-3s. There's ALA, DHA, and EPA. And I've forgotten exactly, but two of them you can get from algae, but the other you really need to get from a fish.
Okay, well, I'm talking about flaxseed. So are you ground flaxseed? I'll check those out. I'll check out. So there's ALA and DHA, and what's the other one?
EPA.
EPA. Okay, I'll check them all out. Okay, thank you. Great. Thank you, Alex.
Okay.
Trish, are you there? Did you get your feedback? Okay. How about you, Faraday?
I like a lot. Maybe it's very interesting for me because it's health thing is very important. But because sometimes most of the people also we don't know how to eat like breakfast and dinner and supper. And for example, I live in China, and most of people have the diabetes. Diabetes?
Yes.
Oh, it's very it's very terrible.
Yeah, that's what. See, diabetes is a result of the poor insulin stuff, which is what Alex was just talking about. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because for me, just like it before I live in Japan, Tokyo. It's actually Japan is very eat the healthy food. So, is eating the food sometimes is very important because just a way to learn is how to life, how to become the healthy.
Well, of course, every country has its problems, but Japan as a whole are about one of the longest living people in the world. So
yeah.
They're doing something right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
All right.
my opinion.
Thank you, Faraday.
I think it's right.
Rocky, could we have your feedback? Rocky, can you turn on your audio? Okay, yeah. Do you have any questions or feedback, or what did you learn, Rocky?
I accidentally muted Rocky. Oh, there he goes. Okay, good.
I learned I need to eat DHA.
Okay.
That's all. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Thank you, Rocky.
Yeah.
All right. Ruby, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So can you put on your video?
Okay. But okay.
Oh, there you are. Okay, welcome. Thank you for joining us. So, do you think you have any special information about good eating and health, and also what did you learn today, Ruby?
In China, the people's income is the information for everyone. If you you can check out in internet.
I'm not sure. We're not talking about people's income. We're talking about health and vitality and their eating.
Because I'm working at the bank, So
Yes.
I know people's income is not invisible. It's you can check out the information in the computer. Everyone can share this information.
Ruby, my question is, do you have any, did you learn anything from today's session? Did you learn anything about your health from today's session?
Health.
Yeah.
Health.
Mhm.
Every day I will eat vitamin D, vitamin D, vitamin B.
Vitamin D. Okay. Mhm. Okay. All right. Thank you for coming. Hope to see you again.
Okay.
Wendy, are you there? Wendy, can you turn on your microphone? Speak up.
Yes, me.
Okay, great. So what did you learn? Do you have anything to share with us?
I actually come late to today. Just heard about some about the healthy something. I actually I like eating the healthy foods, and I use the supplements almost every day. I had can I say about a brand that I have to take. The name is USANA.
Okay.
Yeah, it's produced in America. Yeah,
Okay.
originally, yeah, from America. It's very good. Yeah, and I take it, and my family take it too. We ordered it, yeah, every month. Supplement we have vitamins and so something like antioxide pills and
Antioxidant.
oh
Right.
yeah.
By the way, from what I know, I mean, yes, some supplements can be helpful, but the best supplements are the right foods. Okay. The best supplements are the fruits and the green vegetables and the purple sweet potatoes and the black rice without sugar and mushrooms and the wakame and the nuts. Okay, those are the best supplements, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
if you, and also beans and beans and beans. You know, I eat 4 to 5, 6 servings of beans every day because fiber is super important. You know?
Yes.
And in fact, a lot of the supplements are created by the bacteria when you have a lot of fiber. When you have a lot of good fiber, and the bacteria in your body eat on that fiber, and they create supplements for your body.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and fruits. Yeah. We love it. We love this. Yeah.
Okay.
We love these foods. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Trish, I see you there now. Yeah, can you share with us? Hello, Trish.
I'm here, but I have to admit I had an hour before the Centurist Club started, and I set 2 alarms for 5 and 10 minutes before.
Okay.
But I didn't hear them. I fell asleep and I woke up 5 minutes after and scrambled to get on.
Okay.
And I'm feeling kind of drowsy, so I'm not going to share this time.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming. And were you able to get that link that I put in the chat box for that shows all the documentation for what we went over today?
Oh, I don't know if I did or not. I'll look for it.
Well, you need to look for it right now before we sign off. I'm going to put it again. Okay, just make sure.
Okay.
Make sure it's there. All right. But this link, because there's a lot of really valuable stuff on this link. Okay. And Michael Saberton.
Hey, hi there. Sorry, I'm managing your show here.
I know you are, and I really appreciate that. I feel such luxury.
Oh, that's excellent. So, I'm curious. Alex brought up some interesting, an interesting point about the whole insulin thing, because I have, for as healthy as I eat, and I do eat mostly, mostly vegan. I cheat with fish, so I can't really call myself a vegan. But I do eat a lot of grains and a lot of, I eat very healthy, but my A1C is elevated just slightly. It's slightly above the normal range. And I have some to be open about it, I have high cholesterol that is genetically high cholesterol. It's been in my family. No matter how well I eat, my cholesterol shoots up into the 200s if I don't take a statin. I've been on heavy statins for about 2 years, 3 years now, and there's some indication of some liver damage and some muscle loss and stuff like that. And I do take some supplements to counteract the muscle, like CoQ10 and stuff like that for heart health and muscle health. But I was fascinated by the whole insulin connection to the A1C, and Alex, thank you for that.
Sure.
Alex,
I
yeah,
love
I don't know if Alex can speak to that at all.
I've done a lot of study of this stuff. I'm trying to understand why my A1C is higher than I'd like it to be. It's pre-diabetic. It's not diabetic yet,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, same here.
you know, there's a direction that it's going in, and I don't like it. And what do I do to address it? And I've really cleaned up my diet, and it continues to be recalcitrant. And
Yeah. I don't understand. It's crazy. I'm going in for a new set of panels on Monday. Thank you.
but I do know that
A
folks with
puppy thinks it's his, everything's his. I'm sorry, say that again, Alex.
folks with hypercholesteremia or family high cholesterol, that's a tough road. and you know, I would double down on my reading and really think that through carefully, because the statins seem to work for some folks, and for other folks, you know, they're muscle cramps and a variety of issues.
I finally have a pretty good cardiologist. I mean, I think they're all, I take that with a grain of salt, you know. I mean, everybody's an expert, and some of the best information I got was from Mayo Clinic, believe it or not. And I know people have different thoughts about Mayo Clinic, but I had some heart issues for a long time that none of the cardiologists I went to were able to pinpoint. It was all in my head. They wanted to put me on, you know, whatever. And finally I had a heart attack that showed up in the hospital, and I went to Mayo after several incidents of that occurring. Then all this other stuff was found about the, you know, the cholesterol and that. But I've been fighting cholesterol all my life. So I am going in for a new set of panels to find out, but I am really fascinated by the that link you gave us, Dwight, for the DX, the what was it?
Yeah, Optimal DX. It's a site that does
Optimal DX. I actually put that I put that link in the chat also. I'm on their website here. I just I have it covered up right now. But yeah, I got some research to do, because my current cardiologist says if none of the statins are working, I have another trick up my sleeve, and I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty heavy injection of some sort of a statin like hormone or whatever. I don't know. But he says that'll work.
Just a note on using Optimal DX. If I go to the site itself and try to find what I want, I have a hard time. But if I go to Google and say, like, I want to know the optimum on this, and then I mention the Optimal DX website in the Google link, it'll take me right to the right place inside the website that I can't find if I go directly to the website. So,
Interesting.
you might try that. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that Sonora Labs, and I think there was one other I was using for a long time to order my own blood tests, because doctors don't seem to order they just order the standard CBC and panels that you get when you just go for a health checkup or your annual. And
Right.
I was able to order several. I'm sorry.
I've been using Life Extensions to get the
sorry?
blood test I want. Life Extensions, it's a supplement company, but they also have a connection with LabCorp, and you can get pretty much any blood test you want. And
Life
pay
Extensions.
Life Extensions, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Put that in the link. Put that in the chat.
I don't know how much you think all those blood tests would cost me in the US, but they're going to cost me about $180 here in Vietnam. All those tests that I just showed you.
It depends. It depends on the site. I mean, where are you, Alex? Are you in the States?
Yeah, I'm in the States.
Whereabouts? Do you mind saying?
I'm in Southern California right now, but Life Extensions is nationwide. So it's basically what you do is you sign up online that you want these blood tests. They mail you requisitions in the mail, like snail mail, but they're not. And then you take that into any LabCorp office and they'll draw the blood and you get results online.
Cool. So you're basically being your own physician and ordering labs.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Dwight, this is very cool.
Okay. So thank you, everybody. We got this recorded. I'll be putting it on my site for if you want to refer to it later or introduce any of your friends to it. And I'll be scheduling another one of these. I don't know exactly when, but it won't be within probably a month or so. Oh, and by the way, one of the things about the idea of living together is you really want to live together. And I'm doing a bang up celebration for my 80th birthday. I'm going on a 2-week holiday to Sapporo, Japan, from July 12th to July 27th. And I'm just so jazzed. Sapporo, Japan happened to be the city that introduced me to Asia. I went there with my second wife in August of 1995. And I've been in love with Asia ever since. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.